Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Court of Swords. Now joined with our special guest, Mr. Day 9. I've already seen just jubilant laughter occur in this window, just nonstop. So I think Sean's on the show for sure. I think that confirms one thing: Sean's on the show. If there's just nonstop laughter in the pregame,
there was a reason.
It's because Sean's fault.
Talk about it.
No, it's not just like I was here and we all were like, ha ha ha.
No, that's actually what happens. Yeah. No, what was the reason for it?
Well, okay, so I was talking with the gentleman about if they have this experience, and JP, I want to loop you into this too, where there are members in the public who believe that we have these fleets of employees. There's an industry supporting just me who told dick jokes on Thursday, right? Like, and so there's these criticisms and these concerns that come from that angle. Like, what is it about, I know it's devastating. Where they critique the content, like, why is your website not working? I'm like, because it's just me. It's me. I'm it. That sort of thing. Yeah. And we're talking about, like, clothing. Like, how many different shirts do we have to cycle through before I decided on this wolf howling at the moon? And then Mr. Mexican.
Like that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good job, you two.
So,
wait.
We didn't even plan it.
Way to match on that. That was good. That's great.
Feels good to be here.
Yeah. I've got about, I think, 5 shirts that I rotate through. 5 or 6. I need to get a bigger wardrobe. But you are right. There's been multiple times where I've been streaming and people are like, did he wear that shirt last show? What? That's the exact same shirt from last week. What the fuck? Because the shows are filmed, once a week. Sometimes the cycle hits the same day. It's the same shirt. Look, I can't do anything about that, guys. I don't own that many shirts.
It's Red Shirt Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Red Shirt Tuesday. It's the
YouTube videos, or the VODs, after the fact, and they just see you wearing the same salmon-colored, reddish-colored shirt.
Yeah, it's the Hakuna Matata shirt.
That's a great one. That one they sold that at Target, didn't they?
Fuck yeah, they did. Target, the number one place for streamers to shop for clothes.
I saw you wear that twice at BlizzCon.
Boom. That's right.
It's a good shirt.
It's a good shirt. It's a good shirt. I don't own very many shirts. I need to buy some more. Anyways,
I could pick their shirt game up. They got some comfy.
They have some good graphic tees. They've always had some good graphic tees, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the next step up from just wearing like normal shitty shirts. You go to Target and get like an elevated graphic tee, and then you actually start caring about what you look like and go somewhere else.
The thing is, though, is like when I was a kid, like my mom would shop at Kohl's. I don't know if you guys got that or if that's just like a mid.
No, I know what Kohl's is.
You guys got them, right?
You got a Kohl's card? Do you have a Kohl's card, Max?
Oh, yeah.
Say 50% off.
It's really confusing for me because Kohl's is a bookstore in Canada.
Really?
So I'm like,
they might sell books at Kohl's.
It's exclusively a bookstore in Canada. It's a different.
How is Kohl's spelled?
KOHLS.
COLES.
Yeah.
Oh,
totally different story.
Okay, different. Yeah, no, that's different. That's different.
No, this is a Kohl's.
Yeah,
with K.
Okay. But no, like I was saying that's where I shopped. Like when I was a kid, like my mom would take me there, and I remember as a kid I wouldn't like touch any of the fucking graphics tees, and I knew everybody at school was gonna be wearing those exact fucking tees, and I wanted to be different, whatever. Now as an adult, I don't give a fuck. Like I see a Star Wars shirt, I'm just like, yeah, this is great. Like,
yeah, I swear. Max, you know what also is a good shirt? It's the RollPlay Blade shirt. It's got about 6 hours left on sale. You can buy it right now.
Oh, damn. Holy shit. I didn't. Is that up?
It's been up for like 3 weeks, man. And if you waited till the last second, don't worry. You got 7 hours to purchase it.
Well,
actually 6 hours and 55 minutes if we're really being, real here.
If I'm watching right now and I just realized I have a hole in my shirt, or maybe it's a little sandpapery. I'm looking for the holidays. It's a good gift.
Yeah, nothing fits the holidays like a black shirt with a bunch of knives on it. Go pick it up, roll.
Be that person in your family gathering where they just side-eye you because of the shirt you're wearing.
I've only ever been that person. I don't know that it's
Adam shirts only have knives on them. That's true.
Yeah, I only wear knife apparel.
Can't confirm.
That's a pretty nice shirt today, Adam. That's nice.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Wait, Max and Sean match. Yeah, Max and Sean are matching, and Dan and Adam are matching, and then I'm the odd guy with the red shirt.
Okay.
Fuck it. You want to take two?
You want to try it? Take two and go.
You're the one wearing the.
You just really had to try to get out Hakuna Matata as fast as possible.
Well,
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
man, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Dan, what have you been up to, sir? We'll just cut to that because I'm not going to ask Max something until he stabilizes.
No.
Since Friday, been playing Watch Dogs 2. That came out.
Are you liking it?
Yeah, I personally like it. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan.
Yeah, it's either a game that you love or hate. It's like it's a flip of a coin with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm one of the people that love it. Yeah.
Did you play Dishonored 2? Did you already beat that?
Yeah, I played and beat that as well.
Okay.
That was okay.
Yeah.
It didn't blow me away, but I thought it was fun. You know?
Yeah. Sean, you were playing a bit of Dishonored on Friday, right?
I was playing the PowerPoint presentation known as Dishonored 2, yeah. And it was really weird because I tend to not really play games I'm not interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a result, I never really have like negative experiences. Even like the worst games ever. I think every streamer knows if you're playing a horrible game, it's really fun if you're doing it live, right? So most of the time when I'm playing, I am having a unanimous blast. But it was just so laggy. And it was actually like causing like encoder instability and shit. And I'm like doing all the fixes, and I had that like script running that sets it to high priority every quarter second just to try to get it to run, and I just couldn't get it to stay stable. So I just stopped playing after 2 hours.
Yeah.
There's a lot of performance problems in that game.
That was my issue too.
And so I actually returned it, and I
refunded mine too.
Yeah, I don't know if I got the money back, but we'll see.
I refunded, and then I had the odd question, like, or the odd thought that, like, I made money from streaming that game, but then I got my money back for playing it, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have refunded that. Like,
Maybe not.
Morally, like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Maybe they should
We're gonna play.
fully
We're gonna
patched.
play 2 hours of every game that comes out. That's how we do now. That's how.
Yeah, but you paid for the experience of like potentially the full game. If you don't want that full game experience, I guess you can still refund it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if your product is
Oh no, trust me, I didn't go back and fucking buy it again. I kept that money.
The only reason people watch you is for you, not the game.
Oh.
Oh,
So
that's
sweet.
nice.
That's true. Hakuna Matata. Sean. Hakuna Matata. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I just stopped. I wasn't able to speak. It's gonna be one of them shows where I'm gonna fuck up my words pretty bad.
It's all right. You've got the
Just
best
feels like it.
words.
You know,
I'm
sometimes you
excited.
just tell you're just not there. You're not as sharp. At least in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's gonna be a good show, everybody.
Okay.
Your
Great.
character's an idiot anyway, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll help you
that's
roleplay Berg better.
Like
Yeah.
I said, not far.
You're gonna excel at
Far cry.
role playing Berg, so you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Adam, what about you? What have you been up to?
I started playing Last of Us again because I hadn't played that in a really long time.
It's a good game.
Master version. Yeah, it is a good game. It's a really good game. I'm digging it. Yeah, I forgot pretty much everything about it. I have a really bad memory for video games, so I could play a game and then a year later be like, what even happened in that game? Is that one about the wizard? I don't know. Then I can go back and play it and be like, oh yeah, cool. I remember this sort of.
It's good.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
You're playing on the PS4 Pro, right?
Yes.
So what did they increase? Because like that's one of the games that they're being like now with power of PS4 Pro. Like what did they actually fucking change?
I mean, I only played the PS3 version, so I'm not going to be like the kind of person that's like, yeah, I played both versions day back and forth. But yeah, I know that there's God knows why anyone would ever use it, but there's a 30 FPS lock that I guess gives the system more memory to like render textures and shadows and stuff. But I'm not going to play a modern game at 30 FPS, so I didn't turn that on.
Yeah.
I think it's just like higher frame rate. I don't think that there's no like high texture pack or anything I could find.
Gotcha. It's actually worse on the PS4 Pro. I didn't know that.
Really?
I heard some games were, but I didn't know that Last of Us was.
What is that about again? Like, I don't know much about the PS4 Pro thing, but the idea of a console being like extra power, for PS4 Pro, like what is?
It's like a souped up PS4, like hardware wise.
It's PS4, the PC edition.
Still not. Nope, not that close.
Yeah,
But
I would say probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to see Watch Dogs 2 on PS4 Pro and regular, and it definitely looks better.
Yeah.
And
I don't doubt that.
Better. The AA is better, and it's uncapped frame rate, but it still runs at 30 frames.
still
per
runs
second.
at 30. Yeah, because I played it on mine. And I
It's a
noticed it
huge
never
difference, yeah.
got above 30. But yeah.
That's the thing. Consoles still running mainly at 30.
I mean,
With the exception
most
of
games
some
do.
games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Titanfall or like Call of Duty don't. Or I think Battlefield on PS4 Pro now runs at 1080p 60 and like 64 person matches too, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a larger discussion, so it'll just spark people and talking about.
Oh no, we've triggered about every single person in the
Yeah, it's
chat
happening
already. So it's
I'm not looking at chat.
you just gotta live with it. You just gotta live with it. And then you've been playing Final Fantasy 6, right, Adam?
Yeah, man, my favorite game ever of all time.
Did you beat it?
No, I don't want to like. I mean, it's I guess statute.
The
of
game came out in
limitations.
'94. Where are you
Statute
at
of
in the game?
limitations. Yeah, I'm at the part where everything gets blowed up.
God damn it.
Oh, that's the best
I was
part.
almost at that part. Oh.
It's the best part.
I'm at the part where the whole world gets changed.
Are you
over.
gonna save Shadow, or are you gonna let him die?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I might just feed Sid all the poison fish though, because fuck that guy.
So I haven't played this game, so this just sounds like any game conversation.
Yeah.
Totally, dude in a dumb banana costume. We kill that dude.
That's true.
But no, I love that game. I'm playing.
Kill that dude in a banana costume.
He looks like a guy in a banana costume.
It sounds like something somebody says mid-sleep. Like just,
Right, I'm having a bad dream. Listen, Gassy, every time I'm forced to play D&D with you, feels like a bad dream. So
Whoa! Shots fired. The rolls haven't even happened yet, and Adam's already firing shots.
I'm just trying to get him. I'm trying to get him fired up so they don't make mistakes later.
Okay. All right.
I'm playing the GBA port though, which I'd never played before. The translation is really different from the Super Nintendo. It's like they actually took more than a day to like rewrite the.
Oh, to translate it? Oh.
Yeah. The translation's a lot better. Like it uses full sentences and doesn't sound like someone just like mashed it together.
Does Gal still talk the same way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but translating caveman talks pretty easy to.
It's pretty easy. It's true. Yeah, it just says Gal. That's all he says.
Pretty much just over and over.
Good. Sean, besides Dishonored 2, what have you been up to, man?
Dude, I had some very busy weekends recently, a
Uh-huh.
lot of busy weeks, so I haven't quite gotten the chance to until real recently, and I'm finally back playing Dota 2. Very first game I get in, and two of my teammates just fucking hate each other, and they're just yelling, and I'm home. This is wonderful. Yeah, so pretty much Dota. Yeah, just playing the Dotes.
Just a lot of Dotas. I
Yeah,
still
just
need to play
love
with you.
Oh my god!
Because I
Okay.
lost my Overwatch, right? So like I don't have a Salt outlet right now. It's all
You
just
lost your
bottled up.
Overwatch?
Yeah, I uninstalled Overwatch. I haven't played it in about a week and a half.
Now,
Two weeks.
First of all, later tonight, I'm down. Second of all, the way that you angle your head towards, I guess, where your monitor is, makes it look like you're talking to a small child.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, and that's all I
100%.
hear is like, and what have you been playing?
I'm just looking down on everyone else at the call, you motherfucker.
I've been playing Dota. Everyone's very mad.
it's perfect for him, especially too, like talking at Adam and me, like down.
Yeah. The only person here on my level is Dan. All right, that's all I'm trying to convey here.
This is the Brady Bunch cam.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, we should play some Dota though.
I've never played that game in my life.
You should stream your first game of Dota, and
I'm
also
It'd be
record
horrible.
the chat and then put that up as one video.
Yeah. I might do that just as an experiment. Be going real ignorant, like just real ignorant.
Your
Wow,
chat will
that's
be
like-
more infuriating than the game will for sure. Like it'll.
Man, that's like
it's
I'm gonna take a cab to the middle of a farm in central China, and I'm just gonna do an episode of that, and we're gonna figure that out. I'm like, I don't know if you should do that. I don't know. Maybe you should learn a little Chinese before going to China. Yeah.
Just play Dota. Don't learn Chinese. Just play Dota Max.
I know
There
the
it is.
basic idea of MOBAs. I was in the league way back when, but I know nothing about Dota as far as it's a Dota. It's a MOBA.
It is a MOBA, indeed.
It's a Dota.
Yeah. Max, what have you been playing yourself? What have you been up to?
The newest thing that I've played is Battlegrounds. I played.
Oh, that's the Player Unknown thing, right?
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Pretty neat. It's mainly more on the Arma side of things than it is H1Z1.
Yeah.
I talked to PlayerUnknown at TwitchCon, and he was like, "Yeah, it's kind of like just like a midway part between H1 and Battlegrounds. Obviously, he helped work with Daybreak with H1Z1's Battleground or Battle Royale variant,
Right.
and then now he's just doing his own thing and decided to come up with another. I don't even know the dev. They're like some dev that operates out of like Korea.
So,
Somewhere.
something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure where.
Good pronunciation in the name of that country, though. That's actually how you pronounce like an
Yeah,
air escaping from a balloon.
Korea. Yeah, no, but it's fun. It's a lot slower pace. Anybody that's like super into H1Z1's, King of the Kill, they're probably not gonna have a good time if they've never played any like Arma or DayZ or anything like that. And I don't imagine them having much success and being too enthused with it. But it's more slowed down. It's more tactical. More, I guess, more realistic kind of bullet damage. Because there's sometimes H1 has issues with it. H1's the arcadey version of that.
It's very arcadey, yeah.
That's what it is, and that's what I like about it. I like a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's the H1Z1 killer, but nah, they're just two different type of things. I enjoyed it though. It's nice to have a little variety if you wanted to play like that kind of play style. The first game I had was like top, I think it was third, but it still has its bugs and stuff. It's still early alpha, but
yeah.
It's pretty fun.
It's also a lot slower than H1Z1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more methodical in that sense. So
all the cars and stuff kind of handle more like you're playing Arma or whatever.
Yeah,
but a little less janky.
I still remember, and I will always remember the first time I ever played Arma with Sean when we did a little battle royale in that, because that was fun.
Oh God, I remember the first time I finally got it. We'd been playing for like 6 hours, and I'd gotten a car, and I drove over a bump. And like there was just like a crashed car, but I was in the air, so I was just like watching myself go towards this car, and then I died, and I was like, God, fuck! and then JP's like, hold on, let me open your stream, and he opens it up, and there's just silence for 10 seconds, and he just like bursts in his like little laughter.
I still remember the first game we went into was a night server. And you were just like, JP, my screen's black. I think my computer's fucked up. I was like, nope, that's just night.
No, that's just the game.
It was literally a sheet of black. It was darker than if my monitor was off.
Yeah. It was good. It was pretty dumb. And then I won that game, and you were freaking out. I'm like, Sean, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to win here in the final two. It was good. It was good times.
Oh, that was fun.
I think are we good? Adam, are you ready to kill us all? Is it time?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you're ready, I'm ready.
I think we should go. I think it's time. Maybe a little bit of where we last left off, where you tried to kill us all in a really, really rude and not fair way, according to the comments on YouTube.
If we're gonna point fingers at anybody for that, we're gonna point them at Dan.
Actually, true. Dan, what the fuck were you doing,
true,
man?
Yeah.
Why'd you have to piss off the Mara? Huh?
I didn't know they would do that. I was trying to make this guy not think we're bad people, but
and now we have like a target on our back. They're like,
They were gonna fuck with us at some point, anyways. This is just they finally did it now. But yeah,
that's fair.
That's fair. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, the last time we saw you guys, you had survived several. I think you've killed every guard in the city of Peaceful Spring. I think they're all dead, except for maybe that one guy that like led you into town. He's got a lot of paper to fill out now, and I'm sure that they're starting to put up like wanted posters for the criminals and murderers that came into town and killed all the guards. So you might want to avoid that place for a little while.
Maybe.
But yeah, you managed to track down the wagon that was carrying the body of your friend, but more importantly, the bracer that he wore that would have been able to tell the Court of Coins that these operatives were basically in the valley. So I guess we can probably jump to you all returning to the fortress town. And I think though before we do that, I wanna talk to Sean a little bit about Zawaz Wazaz.
Is that really his name?
It's Zawaz Wazaz.
Right, Zawaz Wazaz. So Zawaz, after I don't know why did you stop being a tinker? What led you to like leave behind your productive guild job making small objects out of soft metal?
Well, you see, I've always wanted to be a great and powerful wizard. But I was born in Earth Genasi. I'm clumsy. I'm not the brightest. I'm actually only mildly above average. And so, in my town, I tried to amp up and hype up my achievements and accomplishments. Sure, I was a tinker by day, but I truly was a powerful wizard. But no one would believe me, so, as you know, I began to lie. I began to lie. I began to tell falsehoods. I got caught up in the identity that I'd established in my town. I needed to keep lying. I needed to keep building the image, keep doing increasingly elaborate stunts to convince people I was the most powerful wizard. And when they found out, I was ashamed. I was exiled. And I have left my land, and now I've been clumsily wandering around ever since.
Excellent. That's perfect. So, I mean, you've got to take jobs appropriate to a fledgling wizard to be able to buy food and to continue your travels. And I think that when we encounter you, when we come across Zoaz Wazaz, you've been employed.
Just call me Zoaz.
You've been employed in a town called Mongvuat. It's a fortress town on the you don't have to pronounce it.
But I want to hear it again.
Mongvuat. It means fangs, I think, tiger's fangs, something like that.
Does it mean what kind of Mung?
No. But if you don't speak the dialect of the Court of Swords, that might be a question you could ask somebody.
Your name is Zuaz, okay?
This fortress town is on the southern edge of a valley that lies between the country that you used to live in, the Court of Coins, and their southern neighbors, the Court of Swords. And it's sort of a like a shared area. There's a sort of a tension over the valley and sort of who officially owns it. And there hasn't been any like real fighting or anything over it because the courts are technically allies, but it's a bit of a sort of no man's land. And there's rumors that it is important to both courts because of there's some kind of magical power here. So you've come here to this valley to find employment, and you found it in the benevolent patronage of a man named Kukrit. He says he works for a museum in the Court of Swords. This is what he tells you, and that he's here to search for artifacts. And he's got a team that he's got working for him to help him do this. But they need someone smart, right? They're muscle, but they need an arcana specialist who can tell the good artifacts from the bad, and who can kind of be the brains of the operation because they haven't got any. And so you and him have worked out a deal. He's gonna pay you for joining these goons in kind of sensitive work, right?
Sure.
So he's been paying for your room and your food at an inn, the Perfect Apple. It's in this fortress town, and it's nice. It's a really nice inn, and you've been living large on Kukrit's dime for the last couple of days while he's waiting for his operatives to return. What do you do to keep busy in the town? Tell me a little bit about your time in this fortress. It's like a military town, but they've got like
it is
and that stuff.
Well, I'm gonna do it in character. I don't give a fuck, man.
Do it in character, man.
I mostly spend my time wandering around trying to meet people, but never sharing too much. You know, people always like someone with a little mystique about them. When I'm not around other people watching, I like to go to libraries and read books.
All right.
Wasn't that anticlimactic? Yeah, that's my character.
No, it's good. I like it. I like it a lot. So that's fine. This is a nice, peaceful place for you to do that. I mean, there are a lot of soldiers around. I don't know how you feel about that, but they seem mostly to ignore you, like everyone kind of does. You get the initial glance of like, ooh, interesting, an Earth Genasi. We don't see them around very often. And after that, they realize you're not actually that interesting, and so let you kind of go about your business.
They don't know me.
You're an Elcor from Mass Effect.
In a little ER from Winnie the Pooh.
Reluctant hello. My name is Zuaz.
Deep jubilation. His voice is actually from a talk I went to at South by Southwest from a guy who was convinced that books were way better than any form of digital media.
Oh, okay. That sounds about accurate.
They say Oprah saved books, but no, books saved Oprah. And I was like, holy shit, I will never forget you. Zoaz.
Awesome. All right, so there's a small library there, and you're able to spend your time mostly reading about military history of the Court of Swords. They keep some like logs of the town's the fortress's history and the various military units that have served here over time. So you've kept yourself busy with that.
Indeed.
This part of the world is fairly temperate. It's far enough from the coast that you don't get typhoons or anything. There's like a rainy season and a dry season. It's moving into the rainy season now, but it's actually like a pretty pretty picturesque place. The fortress overlooks the forest valley, and and you have a few days of peace before these goons arrive and probably ruin your life forever. So Ramus, Gideon, and Berg, the three of you return some days after having murdered everyone at the wagon. Did you do anything with the bodies? Did you leave the slaughtered? You leave the slaughtered.
Context. I don't know what monsters. You should be ashamed.
I mean, I think this is even going to sound more out of context for Sean. As I was in hyena form, I think I just ate everyone.
Oh my god! All right,
look, I was. Sean's already lost it.
Oh my god! It's like, what are you doing? I was at the library. I had sex with a rotten stump, and I'm like, oh my god! I'm still in the library. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
I'm also laughing at the cat.
Yeah, that's me. That's your role play.
So, all right.
Talk of hyena.
So, I mean, here's the thing, right? So you want to have eaten the corpses despite the fact that they were.
Oh wait, they were zombied. Fuck.
They were recently devoured by some.
Yeah.
Does that change anything?
Dude, a hyena can eat anything, right?
That's
like
true, though. Yeah.
They're like carnivore goats. Like it's fine. Your stomach could handle like flesh, but the thing is, there's still all the like the horse bones lying around for the horse like got liquefied.
Oh yeah, a horse got liquefied.
Yeah.
The dead guard.
I would have piled up the bodies on the cart and burned the whole thing, just since they were zombified.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm probably.
Would have helped in whatever task we decided.
Yeah, I think if I didn't eat the corpses, maybe as Ramus did that, I went on like watch duty, like paced back and forth on the road to make sure no one was coming.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Especially from the way of the town.
Yeah. I'm.
That's never happened before.
That's a good face.
Did you eat his internet connection?
That's never happened.
What do we
before.
do? What happens?
I don't know.
What happens,
What do we do?
Adam? Tell us.
Oh God.
Where's the shit now?
He's really trying to think of exactly what he wants
I
to say.
mean, the town.
Oh
Shit.
Oh,
What? No.
You're good. You're back. Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
You're back.
I don't want to move. I feel like.
No, you're good. You're good. What's up?
You're good. I got a great screenshot though.
Good. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
So anyway, the town, no, they don't send anyone after you because you've killed like the entire constabulary, basically. The town is in chaos for a while, right? Like they're going to be dealing with this. They're likely going to send someone to the monastery because that's the like local kind of higher authority. Insane people killed all the guys.
You're good. It just paused exactly right as a car horn was about to occur.
I know, it's just like that fucking timing. Like,
yeah, that was good.
oh fuck.
Yeah, so you're kind of free. You're kind of free to leave. Like if you just head for the fortress town, you'll be fine.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think we're not trying to. Well, they think all they know is there's a giant hyena. So as long as I don't go back into that, we're good. So I just stay in human form and just chill out. Just be cool.
I think I'm trying to think who saw you where, right? Like, because when you were all pretending to be drunk earlier, there was that guard that saw all of you in human form, and he's the only one that's still alive. Everyone who saw you as a bear, and everyone who saw you as a hyena, and everyone who saw you as a tiger, they're all dead.
Yeah,
that's true. I leave
we left
nobody.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
So maybe I do turn into a something.
Yeah, I mean the thing is,
it's
like,
only an hour though. You're right.
Yeah, it's only an hour, and if you get found or whatever, you can change shape. But yeah, I mean it's a few days to trek back. Are you taking the road, or are you going to go through the woods?
The woods would probably be not so
probably
great.
Woods near the town, and then as we get further away, then the road.
Yeah,
we just did a whole bunch of fucked up stuff.
Yeah,
we're probably trying to lay low.
Okay. All right. Well, let's have somebody roll. I guess. Are you, Berg? Are you going to provide like food for people using your food gathering ability, your outsider ability, or is everybody going to eat rations?
Berg will probably see what's in the area, the lay of the land, and see if he can do that. No need to dip into rations if there's plentiful.
Okay, so you're gonna like hunt for food.
Area.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. All right. So Berg keeps everyone fed, and and you all head towards the castle. Going through the woods. Let's have somebody roll a survival check just to see how
I've
how
got
long
a
it takes.
+4.
I have
3.
I have something. I'm reading my sheet. I have no. Fuck it. You go.
All right, I'll roll it. Can Dan help?
I'll help you. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have advantage on this roll.
Great. 17. Thank God for advantage.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a good call.
Okay. So this isn't like a dangerous terrain or anything. It's just like kind of like heavy wood. So you don't, Sean. Don't even put it away. Put on your big boy face. So you get back to the fortress. You climb that road you've climbed before, and head back up to the fortress town. It's like late afternoon, maybe early evening. People are just sort of settling in for their meals. You can see the Perfect Apple Inn. It's light, sort of spilling out into the courtyard of the fortress, and the guards. You know, they're shutting the doors, but they recognize you as being Kukrit's men, and bring you into the fortress before they shut the gates for the night. Where do you go? What do you do?
I think we head to the inn to give Kukrit his bracers.
Yeah, we're probably all pretty tired of this shit.
Yeah, we're trying to get back.
We want to like a proper bed and sleep. We haven't had one of those in a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're gonna try to get Kukrit to pay for it too. That's the last place that we saw him, so we go to the inn. Yeah,
Kukrit is paying for he'll pay for your rooms and your food and stuff while you're here. So you head to the inn, and you go inside, and it's like I said, just starting to fill up. The tables are mostly empty, and you see Kukrit at one of them, and he's just digging into a meal. He's got a bowl of noodles that he's eating as you enter, and I think he's sitting with someone you don't recognize. Sean, would you like to describe your character for us?
I'm very tall, very, very tall. I'm 7'7", assuming that we're using English measurements.
Sure.
I'm 7'7". I'm very stony, but what's unusual is that unlike other Earth Genasi that look muscular, I have stones in the form of a little bit of a gut. And I have sort of long, gangly, stony arms. And I'm wearing modest clothing. I think a real problem with describing clothing in a fantasy setting is that pretty much everything's a tunic.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing... Next to me is... What's his name?
His name is Kukrit.
Kukrit, right? He's wearing a tunic. I'm wearing a... Let's go with the classic. I have dark, almost black, rocky skin, and I'm wearing a crimson red tunic, very dark, but just off a little bit, wrapped around me in a manner that doesn't really hide my voluptuous gut.
So you're sitting quite far back from the table on account of the size of your belly.
Yes, indeed. In fact,
are you eating, drinking? Do you have like a meal in front of you?
No, because I know I'm about to meet new people, and if you drink and eat, it can ruin your perception. And as someone who knows that he will soon be the greatest wizard ever, it's important to make certain that you are in full control of your mental faculties.
All right. So in mid slurp of his noodles, Kukrit like taps you on the shoulder and points at the group coming in, and through a mouthful, he's like, "This is them. Keep quiet. Let me introduce you. What is Zawaz Wazaz see entering the inn? You want to give us a description of your characters?
I forgot what you described. I was like, well, there's a guy in a Hakuna Matata shirt.
No, I want them to describe their characters. This is how it works.
Yeah. No, I think you see a very unkempt, red-haired, average-sized human guy walking towards. He's got a shield and a quarterstaff on his back, raggedy clothes, and he's probably the first one in, and probably talking under his breath or something like that to the people behind him.
And then Ramus is a relatively tall human. He's got scale mail on with a nice, somehow still pristine sun cloak over his armor. Somehow he has kept it clean through all of this hell, and it's still sparkling. And he's a cleric of the sun, which you would recognize the symbol. And he's just very proud, and he walks in with like a stagger, he just doesn't give a fuck. And he walks through the table right away, sees Kukrit and goes right there.
See a large half-orc who's about, I can't remember the exact measurement and height it was. He was somewhere around 7 foot, I think, something like that. He's got one tusk that's broken off, one that's like half, broken off in like battle or whatever. A giant, you can see a little bit of a giant scar, like a branding across his chest with his dark skin. And he's got, I can't remember actually. I think he had black hair, right? With kind of like a man bun sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if he had facial hair. Let's say he does. It was so long ago we did this.
The great thing about hair on your face is that if you wait,
it grows.
It just grows up.
It's a little more. He's got some facial hair, kind of like sort of Fu Manchu like, but it's really ratty, like right now, just because he's
Fu Manchu. That's Chinese Han Solo's friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Great.
But no, he looks a little battered. He's got some chainmail. Wasn't it chainmail I'm wearing?
Scale mail, I think.
Scale mail, yeah. Battered scale mail. Just looking like
it was a snail mail.
Snail mail, yeah. There's snails all over it.
Yep.
The shells of snails.
Basically, we don't look that imposing of a group. We just look like a bunch of, except for maybe Dan. Dan's probably the only one that looks good. Me and Berg look like shit.
Dan, right?
Yeah.
But I think the first thing we do is when we like walk in, eye the room. The second we see Kukrit, we walk over and I just put the 2 bracers on the table. Look at him and say, "It's done." And I look over at this giant.
We have good news and bad news.
Yeah. So he sees 2 bracers get put on the table, and he looks at the 3 of you, expecting there to be a 4th. And he kind of raises an eyebrow at Ramus, and he's like, "What happened?"
Well, we have good news and bad news. The good news, you asked for a bracer. We brought you 2. The bad news is we kind of lost the other member on the way. But these things happen.
How did you lose this? He like shakes his head, and he's like, moved the bracers off the table. Zawaz, when you see these bracers, they're like a dull kind of gray metal. They're etched with like strange markings. Are you curious about them at all, or do you just like ignore them as Kukrit sweeps them into his bag?
So I think that this is a good opportunity to prove myself in some way to these people, whether be it truthfully or not. And I'm wondering if I can use my powers of insight and or investigation to feel out the bracers.
Yeah. In this case, it would be an Arcana check to recognize what these might be for.
Great.
So you can make that roll. So on your character sheet, find where it says Arcana in your skill list, and
got it. Yeah.
Damn.
Nice. Yes.
23.
Okay. So you recognize these bracers right away. I don't know if you've ever seen them in use before, but they are like you use them on slaves, basically, people who you wanted to control their behavior. They can be used to inflict pain, to manipulate people's behavior, all the way down to like suppressing their mind completely and using them as a puppet. These are dangerous items. Most civilized folk wouldn't use them. So the fact that these guys just came and plunked some down on a table is a bit unusual, maybe.
Yeah. So upon identifying this, of course, always trying to strive to overcome the deep insecurity within me, I say, "Oh, I see. Simple enslavement bracers. Not surprising for a batch of goons to have gotten them."
And you all see, the three of you standing at the table, you see Kukrit look at this stranger and smile, like almost proudly, like, yes, good, I made the right decision. And he nods to you, Zawaz, and he says, yes, an astute observation, friend. These three are dangerous. Best to keep them under control. I had more, but and he like looks at the bracers and he slides them into his satchel. He's like, but these three keep losing the ones I give them. And then to you, Ramus, he says, it doesn't matter. Janus was a criminal. He deserved to die anyhow. Whether it was now or later in a jail cell, it doesn't matter to me. You did what you needed to do. And he says to you, he gestures to Zawaz, and he says, I've got some help for you on your next mission. Don't break this one. Sit down. People are staring.
I take my giant hulking lumbering body and I sit. Sounds like the crackling of pop rocks, right? Just like
that's really mild crackling, really.
Yeah,
that's more like
it's the high pitched crackling of pop rocks or broken headphones as I sit down on the creaking wood.
I turn to our keeper and say, "Yeah, that's real. Now we got some eyes. Don't worry, it's not gonna hurt anyone." I just kind of walk around the table and sit down.
Everyone can remain calm.
I don't think that's helping, sir. And then I just look. I look
I
back.
don't respond.
Bert this entire time is just staring at Zawaz, just like, the fuck. Like Berg is simple himself, and he's just like.
Berg, get a chair. Sit down.
Very well.
I don't know why Sean lost it.
Oh my god, no, it's the first time I've ever heard that voice. It's
okay.
like it's like you're vomiting a dragon. That was great.
It's good.
That's really what I was going for with Berg, was dragon vomiting.
Yeah.
Ramus, do you sit down?
Like,
Normally, I stand on dirt, not sit with a table. I sit at a table with it, but okay.
All right, glad we got that one in. Ramus, what do you have us for in your next job? And is this guy really coming with us?
Yeah, so Kukrit has food and drink brought to you, and he says, well, I guess first of all, because you completed. You actually completed your goal in retrieving the bracers. The three of you get 75 gold or 75 experience piece. You don't get gold. He doesn't pay you for shit. You can keep the gold you find. But yes, add 75 XP to your sheet.
all of us?
Yeah, each of you get 75.
Except Sean.
Nice.
We're at 809,
Sean.
Dan.
Yeah, except Sean. Yeah.
Oh, we're so close.
We're pretty close.
Yeah, me too, guys.
Max,
just
you're
leveled.
gonna die today, probably.
What was it, plus 75?
Yeah, 75.
Yeah, 517.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm comfortable at 0. Feels good to be at 0. It feels fine.
This is okay.
Good thing about rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go down.
God damn it.
Unintended.
So Kukrit finishes his food before he explains. He's a man with nothing but time. So he finishes the bowl of noodles that he was eating and, shouts for a waitress to bring him more before he finally turns his attention to you kind of as the rest of the food is arriving at the table. And yeah, and he says to you, Ramus, he kind of like tends to like level with you and then assume that you're the guy in charge of these other people. How that ever turned up, it's hard to say, but that's just seems to be the way he acts. So yeah, so he says to you, he says, I've had intelligence from the capital based on what you found in that cave about the valley. It's nature, and we need to have a conversation with someone who lives in the valley. She's a monk, a genasi, like this one, and like gestures at Zawaz. But water. Her name is Azure Vortex. She lives in the lowlands somewhere. It's in a hermitage. We found that apparently the Court of Coins has been doing some digging as well. And while he's speaking, he's like, wiping broth out of his beard. He's kind of a messy eater. And he says, they've uncovered something ancient, powerful, a weapon, we think. This monk has it. We need you to go and find her and bring her here so we can have a conversation with her about it.
And if she doesn't come quietly?
I don't care about quiet. If I wanted quiet, I wouldn't send you. Just get her. Bring her here alive.
Clearly. And he just motions towards, what's it called, Zawaz. This big bulbous rock belly and cracking stuff.
Oh, and that reminds me, Gideon, get out that pot. There is something going on in the woods nearby. These beetles are filled with magic, and they're corrupting the land or something, and this could be a really big problem. We brought you a pot with one of the live bugs inside if you wanted to further investigate it.
Yeah, you see Gideon pull out this pot very carefully, very slowly, put it on the table, and start to like undo the twine that I've tied it on with. And I look at the keeper and say, I want this pot back. And I slowly slide it across the table.
Right. Okay. So he takes it, and I think he like kind of opens it a little and looks inside. There's like a faint sort of buzzing and maybe some plinking as it moves around inside the pot. Huh. Interesting. And to Ramus, you say you found more of these in the woods? Something about corruption?
Yes, like it looks like everything gets coated in wax or something. And we find these husks of these beetles all around it, and it's just these areas are just drenched with magic. I did a spell to sense magic, and it was overwhelming. Kind of like bird stench over here. It was just looked like a massive amount of magic. Something super powerful is happening out there, and this could be a sign of something dangerous. Could be a natural phenomenon. I don't know. I need a wizard's advice, or druid's for that matter, a competent one.
He nods and he says, we'll have someone take a look at it. Zawaz, what do you make of this? And he pushes the iron pot over to you. So it's like a little cooking pot with a heavy like lid on top, and there's something alive like inside it. But he pushes it over to you to take a look.
So first what I do is I tilt up the edge of the pot just a sliver to get a glimpse of what's inside, because I've never seen what's inside before, because I have no context.
I've never seen what's inside before.
Yeah, that's fine.
What's inside before?
Yeah, by the
very dramatic way to say it.
It's just like, because I haven't seen what's in this pot before.
Open your washing machine. I've never seen what's inside before.
So inside the pot, which you have never gazed into yet before, you see illuminated by the sort of orange light of the torches that illuminate the inside of this inn. You see a faint like glittering of perhaps gold and some kind of like precious gem. There's definitely treasure inside this pot of some kind. But also it's moving, right? Like you can see movement and the light is reflected back to you, and you can hear a faint buzzing, and again, like the sort of plinking sound as the thing walks around on the inside of the pot.
As you look into it, I say, it's not from here. I don't know where you're from. Maybe it's from where you're at. Did you bring this? This is your fault. I kind of like look back at everyone and be like, I did it. I solved it, guys. I did it.
So I extend an enormous charcoal hand to Gideon and say, yes, of course I've seen one of these before. So I didn't take a breath before I started talking. I almost fucking passed out. To get a sense of what's inside the pot, like I always get confused about the difference between arcane, insight, and investigation spots like this. Like I want to use the correct one to get a sense of what's in there, and I think it's insight or arcana.
So insight is for picking up on like people's intentions or feelings. Investigation is for putting clues together in a scene to figure out like what happened somewhere, something like that.
Right. So
and then
arcana is basically knowledge.
Arcana is knowledge of anything magical. Yeah. So if you suspect that it's magic, the Arcana check is the appropriate one to make.
I'm going to use the Arcana check. Thank you for clarifying.
You want to see if you recognize anything like this? So like an insect creature of some kind made out of like precious material, something like that. Yeah, go ahead and make a check. I think that the difficulty on this, the number you're going to need or higher is going to be a 15 to see if you can recall anything.
I set my hand on the pot. I lay it level, and I tap into my abilities of the arcane, breathing a little nervously.
Jeez.
All right.
Yeah, have you seen me play Hearthstone? Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm the luckiest guy in the universe. Don't worry about it. We're rolling 24s all day.
All right. So the green text there means that you got a crit. That's the highest possible result you can get. So good job on the 24. You know everything about Arcana. And yeah, you've actually definitely heard of or maybe seen something like this before. I mean, you can tell me where you encountered this because you've been wandering a while. But as Ramus said, these are they're a bit like magical like locusts. Wherever you've seen evidence of them, you've never seen one alive before, but wherever you've seen evidence of them, you've seen vast desolation, right? They seem to draw the life force out of trees and plants. And then die for whatever reason. So you've seen bodies of these things before, maybe bits of their carapace, you know, a partially constructed, like a intact one, but never one alive, certainly.
Okay, so I look at them and say, in my wanders from am I west? Did I come from west to here? Is that where?
Yeah, you came from north. Yeah.
In my wanders from the north, many forests were devastated by the arrival of these locusts.
I don't understand what's so funny.
Oh, shit.
Oh, one small detail I forgot to mention is we found these inside the body of an animated zombie. So these things were animating the corpses.
So Kukrit's like in the middle of eating like a spring roll or something. He looks at you and he's like, "I'm trying to eat here, Ramus." And like finishes his food and like wipes his hands.
When the locusts are done devouring all the plant life in the area, they will consume even animals and sometimes humans.
Kukrit looks at you concerned as he swallows and like wipes the plum sauce from his fingers, and he says, "Interesting," and he reaches over and slides the pot to himself. And he says, I'll take a closer look at this and send it home for examination. You did good. And he looks at Ramus and he's like, if you find anything else, artifacts like this, magical objects, bring them to me.
The pot, please.
I will buy you a new pot. He needs to keep it in there.
I like lean over. That's my grandmother's pot.
She was an old hag. Get over it. I'll buy you a nicer pot.
I give you the death stare. Say, I hope the pot treats you well. I look to Kukrid. I hope the pot treats you well.
He looks at you like, okay, yes, sure. And slides the pot over to his side of the table and like puts something heavy on top of it to keep it shut. Now so he says he gets up I think and like wipes the crumbs off the front of his tunic and he says to us, he's like, a word, and gestures for you to like come with him. He wants to talk to you for a second.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the two of you kind of like step aside from the table.
I lumber up, crackling like a very small fireworks show.
Okay. All right. So you go and you stand over by the little hearth fire, and he leans in and he says to you, he's like, they may seem like fools, but don't underestimate those three. They're dangerous criminals. I've fitted them all with bracers to keep them under control, but and he kind of like looks around, and then he hands you something like very obviously like so that they don't see. Like he kind of turns away to like hand you something. And he gives you this little iron ring, and he says, so long as you wear that, they will not be able to attack you. If they try, it will be messy for them. Try to keep them under control, but if they cause problems, remind them who they work for. And he says, when you find this monk, she may have the weapon on her person or somewhere in her hut. If you can find it and bring it to me. And he kind of smiles, and he says, I will make sure that it's worth your while.
I take the ring, I examine it, and I look back at Cuckfit. What's your name, Cuckfit?
Yeah.
It's Kukri.
Kukri.
Cupcake.
Okay, I look back at Kukri and say, I appreciate your confidence. And I slip the ring onto my finger,
Okay.
nod at him, and walk back to the others.
Okay. So putting the ring on, you immediately become aware of the three who are wearing the bracers. Like you can sense where they are, even though you're not looking at them. Like you can kind of feel them in your like mental space, as if you have an additional sense that tells you where they are at any given time. Again, because it's a magic item, you can feel there is a power in the ring that if you wanted to use, if you wanted to wield against them, you absolutely could. Just know that is there. You let me know if you ever want to unleash the power of the ring on any of the three of these goofs.
I think for now, I simply feel the power coursing through me and feel amused because people are finally beginning to respect what I always knew I was.
Yeah, this is what happens when you roll 20s. Everybody thinks that you're good at your job.
Yeah, I am. That's a 24.
Yeah.
Man.
20 plus 4 more, by the way.
Yeah, you rounded down.
So so you have this mission. One of you is being paid for it as an outside contractor. The other three are contractually obligated to work for Kukrit here. But yeah, Azure Vortex, this water genasi monk, lives somewhere in the lowlands of the valley, and apparently has uncovered some kind of powerful weapon that she plans to use to terrorize the Court of Swords, and you got to go and deal with it. So that's what lies before you, but you can approach it at whatever pace you like. Why don't we have Zawaz return to the table, and then we can take a break there, and we'll pick up, and y'all can take some time to figure out how you want to come at this.
Okay. Yeah, I think I just eye him as he comes down and sits at the table, and we'll cut to break and figure out how the rest of the group reacts.
Just eyeing that ring too, just like.
I sit
He
down.
feels unsettled.
He proposed.
Do you just sit down, Zawaz? Do you say anything before you sit down, before we cut the break?
No, I silently look at them, sit down with all the crackling of opening
I
up.
was gonna say, the sound of you sitting down is like someone pouring a bag of gravel onto the floor.
Silent gravel, though.
Silent.
It's the most quiet gravel you've ever heard.
Yeah.
I sit down like an emptying bag of gravel.
It's silent where you come from. All
I
right.
sit down with the crackle of a boy who's struggling to get the last bit of meat out of a crab.
Perfect.
There you go.
And I look at all of them. I don't smile. I don't frown. I remain expressionless, like my blackened stone skin.
Great. We'll see how Dan responds to that, because I'm sure he's got something.
No, I'm just kidding. I have no.
Yeah.
Ramus just notices the ring, and he just smiles very kindly at Zwaz. And Ramus is very wise, and he has ideas, and he's going to be very kind to Zwaz for quite some time.
Great. All right. We'll hear maybe about some of those ideas right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Hour 2 comes up, Court of Swords. We'll see you guys in just a sec.